some challenges are going to come. And that's for sure. Even doctors who make a lot of money and have a secure job and those sorts of things. There's challenges. Kids, broken cars, water heaters that go out, stress at work, whatever. Of course, if you're married, marriage. Those are all sources of stress. So there's going to be challenges that you're going to need to deal with, and so a lot of times I feel like my patients go through this honeymoon period. They start Suboxone, the withdrawal goes away, the craving is going away, they stop using, things start to get better with their partner, their job, they start to repair things, and they stop going to see a counselor, they stop going to meetings, they stop working on coping skills because things are really good in comparison to where they were. And they set themselves up where they don't continue to work on the coping skills and those sorts of things. So when a challenge really comes, they're in trouble. And I had this one patient who, successful businessman, owned a multi-million-dollar business, lots of employees, those sorts of things. But he worked in a way that he was paid by the state of Hawaii. And the state of Hawaii had some, budgetary issues with the Congress or something like that. And I forget exactly how it led up to it, but for a while there, they weren't cutting checks. And so he had this, enormous payroll and expenses and those sorts of things. And like all of a sudden, the state stopped paying their bills. And he relapsed because he didn't know what he was going to do. And so there were two lessons there. One is that, he needs to not trust the state and have a line of credit and those sorts of things. So, he learned the lesson to avoid the situation in the future, but also, he learned that, when the shit hits the fan, he was not prepared for the stress that, his particular business could potentially present for him. And so, I said, this is a learning opportunity. You're not a failure. You're not permanently broken, those sorts of things. And that's important to remember, is that relapses, because chemical dependency is a chronic relapsing disease, they should not be unexpected. Now, they should be celebrated. It's not like, oh, you relapse, but, they're not the worst thing that's ever happened. If you learn from them, if you learn, I haven't been seeing my counselor enough, or going to meetings, I haven't been working on my coping skills, or I need to take care of these problems, I've been kicking the can down the road, and I really have to deal with whatever it is that caused me to relapse, I need to avoid that, et cetera, et cetera.